This morning I posted a video on my Instagram of when I was back on 32nd Street in Cactus, the very first shop that I ever had. And at the time I was sharing the warehouse with somebody else, so I only had access to half of it, which was maybe 400 square feet. Not a whole lot, but looking at that video, it just kind of doesn't really remind me and bring me back to the ground level because I think I've maintained um, a pretty good attitude of where I've been and where I want to be. So staying humble, staying creative, staying in contact with you guys is just kind of like what I've always wanted to do when I started this. So I think I'm still there. I don't want to lose that. And I don't know, watching that video just kind of brought me back memories of how hard or how much harder it was to reclaim next to a trash can and to wash out screens only during certain hours of the day because I didn't have a washout booth inside the warehouse. I would have to wait for the sun to come down so I can go out there and wash out screens. So I would always have to plan a day ahead. And thankfully, I've always had that mentality where I have a 2 week turnaround, so it doesn't matter. Things are not always due the day of, and that's always helped me. So coming back from that, it was just kind of cool to see it. I posted it on Instagram, got some good feedback, so thank you guys. And I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. So for a lot of you guys, when you guys are getting started watching the channel, yeah, I do have a pretty decent sized warehouse. I've gotten the automatic recently, and the equipment that I buy throughout the time, it's because I invest in my business. So I've talked to some of you guys in the past where you ask me questions about how to get this quality or how did I make that happen. Well, things happen because I'm investing in the company. For example, the very, very, very first thing I bought once I had my first manual press were those metal boards. So I invested about $400. The first thing I did with the first couple of jobs that I got was save the money to buy those boards, because those metal boards, obviously they're going to give you a better print finish than having the wooden ones, which kind of warp over time or just give you issues that you guys are probably complaining about. I do understand that it's expensive, but if you want to start a business, you can't say I'm going to start a business and then just go with the bare minimum throughout months and months and months. Eventually it's going to come to the time where you have to invest and you have to put your money in your company. So for example, if I never invested in those boards, 5 years later, would I still have those printing the same quality that I did, having this warehouse, having the clients that I have? Everything reflects pretty much on your equipment. It does have a lot to do with you, your knowledge, and pretty much like the inks that you use. Everything has to do with everything. But when you start, it's definitely understandable that you can't start with the high-end equipment, because obviously you don't have the money to invest in it. And then number two, you may not have the skills. So just a little food for thought out there. I know a lot of you guys sometimes get discouraged, but I would say don't get discouraged. This was, for those who don't know, I worked at a company for about 10 years. I paid my dues. I learned how to reclaim there. I learned how to screen print on the manual press, the automatic press. I got a chance to manage the company towards the end of my 10 years at that place. So I learned the ins and outs of screen printing before I started my own thing. Very difficult to start screen printing when you don't have that background and you think you're just going to buy a machine and start from home. Is it possible? Definitely possible, but you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to make a lot of errors, and you're going to have to tough through those times where you want to give up because you don't understand what's going on. You're spending a lot of money, and that's just the way it goes. So I guess my highest recommendation for those who want to screen printing, or as a matter of fact, who want to do anything that they want to start, make sure you go and apply at a job and work there for at least no less than a year or two, so you can acquire those skills and get better at doing what you want to do. And maybe throughout those 2 years, you're going to learn that that's really what you want to do, or that's maybe not that interesting as you thought it would be. So think about it. Don't give up. Make sure you invest in your business. If you have a 9 to 5, use your 9 to 5 to pay your home bills, whatever it is that you owe at home, your car payment, your phone, all that stuff. if you're gonna start your business, if you have some savings to buy some equipment, whatever money you make from your side gig, invest it back into your side gig so that eventually you can let go of your 9 to 5 and your side gig is gonna be your primary source of income. So think about that for a second. Don't use your money because you made $20. You think that you have $20 for gas, or you want to go get a nice meal or whatever it is. Just make sure that you put it back into the business because eventually it's going to give back. And the biggest thing is learning how to invest in your business. I know it's hard managing your money, learning how to put it back in a smart way. It's very difficult, but that's something that you're going to learn over time. So that's that for today. I want to thank you guys for your support. We have a lot of good things coming this year at the end of the year, and next year is going to be very exciting. We have been talking about possibly moving here to a bigger warehouse. It's still floating in the air, but there's at least a 70% chance that I'm going to move, so it's pretty high in the air, I would say. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It's still not going to happen. We have about another 3 to 5 months before we start making any moves, but it's definitely going to be a big 2020. I cannot wait. I'm super excited to show you guys everything that's coming. We've been slowly growing, but that is how you grow a business. You can't go from 0 to 100 because that's when you fail. So if you steadily grow, you have less chances of taking big hits and going down. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. If you guys have any questions about business or how I started or how it's been going, please go ahead and comment below. If you're struggling to get through your daily struggle, I guess, with screen printing, go ahead and comment below and let me know what's going on in your life. I know it's not easy, but just, drop it in there. Kind of let me know where you're at, and we'll comment back and see how we can help you. So, peace. Okay, Shante, muchos helicópteros. This is what I was talking about, that it could be a potential warehouse for the future. And we'll talk about it more as time goes on.